Corporate recruiter here, getting you ahead of your job search by reviewing your resumes. This is a resume of a project manager. So, what we need with a project manager is details. I need details about how and why you did which is going to be what part of your industry, in which there's so many I cannot get all of those up in this list. Then I need to know how you made things happen compared to how you did things. Now, this sounds a little weird, but essentially for like management and project management roles, they don't necessarily care so much that you succeeded. I mean, they do, but they want to know how you succeeded, right? You can't just say increased productivity by 20%. They want to be like, put in new KPIs, did training, organized, that kind of stuff. PMP CSM certificate is pretty nice. A lot of project manager roles will like that. It's kind of a nice to have, but it's very good to have. Customers, stakeholders, they want to see that you can interact with people that matter to that company. Agile, and then there's industry stuff. Again, every industry in some of these things is going to have slightly different keywords that they're going to be looking for, and I can't really be everywhere in every industry. But I do want to know the number of team members, if it was matrix or cross-functional, number of projects, budgets, multitask, how you used resources for success, how you solved problems, Influence, Jira, Confluence, MS, and MS projects. So let's see what the ratio on this resume is. It is unknown, and the ratio is how many applications it takes to get an interview. So, that you want ideally a 1 in 50. 1 in 50 is ideal, but you can't count that until the second week of January, because until that time, recruitment is basically shut down. So, can I find those things in 20 seconds, which is all the time recruiters have? And go. Oh, gosh, I do not like this. All right. Nothing there I need. Led an end-to-end project for 100 profile project experience programs. What? Develop project scopes, timeline, deliver stakeholders. I mean, that's okay, but like, what did you do? Served as the central operations hub for initiatives. What initiatives? Analyzed existing workflows, external vendors. All right, and it's time. That's all the time I had. That's about 20 seconds. So this would definitely fail. This person wrote me some stuff, so let me read it. This is, wow, that is a lot. Again, I would rather you write me more information than less information. So I spend at least an hour per job application. That is immediately one of your problems right there. By doing that, you lower your chances, not increase them. I'm finding when I'm iterating on my resume, I spend 6 hours. Yes, 6. Yeah, that's absolutely. So to be clear, the longer you spend rewriting your resume per each job, the less your chances based on how ATSs work. There's a lot of misinformation about how ATSs work, and a lot of scam artists say that ATSs scan for the perfect resume, and while there are ATS scanning technologies, it's seriously very rare in the market. Like 1% of jobs have it. It's really, really rare. But how they actually work is first come, first serve. So if you spend 4 hours applying and you hit submit, you are then 4 hours behind everybody else. And if there's more people that apply before you, what will happen is you'll never get seen. So we see them in order, right? On average, it takes about 150 people to fill a rec on an internal level, give or take. So the longer you take to apply, the worse your chances, because if you are number 125 and we find who we need on a number 120, we're not going to look at you. So that's an immediate problem, which is why you're having issues. I analyze about 10 jobs with a specific type of role and throw it into AI to create a baseline resume. Yeah, that's awful. AI is terrible at making resumes. Like, it's not that I can tell that a resume is AI. It's that I cannot tell the difference between an AI resume and a resume that I would reject for not having enough information. That's the problem. It's not that AI resumes get past recruiters or I'm some kind of genius. It's just they're indistinguishable from terrible resumes. Let's see. I add little things to incorporate more keywords. Again, you did not. This is part, already that first paragraph is everything wrong with this. I started logging my applications into a tracker in Notion. That's good. And so far this month doesn't count. I will let you know this month doesn't count. Recruitment shuts down from about the second week of November until the second week of January, but this is still a bad resume. And I've applied to 16 roles, but no interviews. No, you should be applying to 50 roles a week. That should be about how you should do it. For my roles, I'm finding that even if I see the job under 24 hours from listing, there's generally already 50 to 100 applicants. Yes, there are. That's why you should not take that long to apply. The intensity of how on you got to be and how long to take it to edit a resume is draining. Yes, because you should not be doing that. What you need to do instead is create up to 4 different resumes, each tailored to a different job title. Job titles, on average, across multiple companies, except marketing, because marketing's weird, will have the same qualifications. Sometimes you need to do like niches, I never could pronounce that right, of job titles. Like software engineers cannot just say software engineer, they need to say Python or Java or full stack. And for this, maybe there's like a medical project manager or an event project manager, but they're going to have the same skills. So you create up to 4 resumes that have those skills based on each separate job and use those resumes to mass apply. That way you have the accuracy of a tailored resume and the success rate of a mass application. So, training mental health, practice. So far, interviews are my weakest point, so I need resources on my practice sim, likely AI first, unless there are Discord groups. I actually don't know, but a Discord group of interviews is actually a pretty good idea. I don't know of any, but I actually really like that. I'm also struggling with the insecurity of this, even though I have a really big brain on my resume. Brand, I was contracted, my agency did not offer mentorship. I didn't even know how to fully utilize my resources my first job. Let's see, and I was afraid of being targeting layoffs. Your skill level does not matter to layoffs. You could be the best performing person in the company and you can still get laid off. Laying off is specifically that it is not you, it's them. I always done my best to appear. I'm struggling with the pedestal that people put me on when the reality is working at a big company and Meta plugs you into small sections that you manage and not log programs. Sorry, I'm still overcoming a bit of a cold. Sorry. See, ownership over. We also don't worry about budget. Disingenuous. Yeah, like, none of that matters. You took all of this personally. No one cares. I don't mean that in a mean way. I mean, like, quite literally, no one even cares about that stuff. Like, you're so obsessed about the appearances and stuff when your problem is you're using AI and you're taking 6 hours to edit this when it should take you about 2 to 3 hours total to make a resume you can mass apply with. Because if you notice, I did not see any of these things here, right? And this is why AI is terrible at resumes, is because none of this is information I need. It's just a bunch of keywords. And the difference between a keyword and a qualification is as follows. A keyword is something we're looking for, but a keyword is a part of a qualification. And if you do not have the qualification, we are going to reject you. So a qualification is keyword plus how you did it plus the reason or result of you doing it, plus where you did it, with the exception of education and years of experience. If it's not those 4 things, it's not a qualification and we will reject you. So yes, you had the keywords, but these sentences are garbage. And because these sentences are garbage, oh man, my throat, is I cannot move you forward. So your big issue is this is a terrible resume. And you need to burn it and start again. It is garbage. That does not mean you are garbage. A resume does not define you. It's just a snapshot of what you've done. So this person is in my Twitch stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST at twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter and in the link below. I help people out in job search. That's where I record this. And if you ever need help, you can always join me then. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And let's go to the next resume. This is a full stack software engineer, brain. So what we need for a full stack software engineer or developer is degree, TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, Node.js, Angular, Next.js, GraphQL, SQL, API, RESTful API, Cloud, Agile, CI/CD, cross-functionally, .NET or Python or Java, and a bonus points for architecture, extra language, Git, and DevOps. So can I find that in 20 seconds? Let's see. And, oh, good, formatting, yay. All right, bootcamp, engineered scalable full stack solutions using visual. Okay, good. Develop Java Spring Boot applications to receive vehicle data via VIN numbers, kind of. Designed a relational database schema, implemented queries to process vehicle data, construction, and MVP. Okay, these are not bad, but not great. Let me read your note. Just started searching. My old resume wasn't great, so I built a new one. Okay, so this is your new one. So normally I suggest you should put your education and certs up at the top. The problem here is you graduated from a boot camp, and boot camps are unfortunately kind of like not as popular. So this is actually one of the few times where your education should be at the bottom. And you don't need to tell me necessarily when you graduated. In this case, I think saying October 2022 is fine. So I would just put 2022, right? You don't need to tell me when you started. Now, on to the bullet points. These are not bad, but they're not they could be better, right? So engineered scalable full stack solutions using React and Node for impressive client-side interfaces for distributed backend microservices. My problem is you wrote the skills correctly, right? You wrote the keywords, but I'm not really sure the reason you did those. I'm not really sure what you do, right? Like, this is too broad. You kind of went too far in the other direction of, like, removing enough context from it. So it's not that I don't want this stuff. It's just like, what did you, I don't even know what the company is. I don't know what you do. I don't know what their area is. I don't really know why you use these things for. So I don't need numbers, but I want, like, created a full stack or a scalable full stack, like scalable full stack I don't even like solutions. It feels very corporate-y to me, right? Like, there's a lot of fluff here, which is weird because it's also very pared down at the same time. I would say created a full stack X using, then this part is correct, and Node.js for our clients blankety blankety blank in Java. Then I want you to sort of move this microservices down to the other one, which no, you already have it here. So here's kind of the rule. Having Java here and no, that's JavaScript, that doesn't count. Having Java here and here is not good, right? Having Java here and here is good. So again, you don't want to repeat the same keyword in the same job. So this can be actually taken out because you say it immediately in the next sentence, although you do want to add back in microservices. Developed a Java and Spring Boot application to receive vehicle data via VIN numbers, parsing external APIs, models, and worst codes. So again, I don't know if I care about worst codes, but maybe that's industry specific, but this is a really good bullet point and I like it. Designed a relational database schema. Again, I don't know if I care about that. Just say used MySQL and SQL queries to extract metadata into structured tables for reference, right? Again, you kind of like extra fluffed up this part when I really only need this. Constructed REST APIs. I want to see RESTful. Utilizing Adobe's API. Again, this is okay, but there's a little bit of fluff here. So again, this is not like a bad resume. I don't want to tell you like, oh, this is garbage, redo it all. It's just, there's a little bit of fluff before I get to what I want, and you're kind of giving me like an appetizer of what you're talking about, and I don't want that. I just want you to skip to the main course. And again, I do want to know a little bit about what you did. I don't need a ton, right? I don't need to necessarily see all the crazy details, but like I like what you did here because this tells me exactly what you did, how you did it, and the reason or result of you doing it. So this is a good sentence. This is like a C+ sentence. And I just want to give you all the chances you can because, again, it's going to be tough as you are in a boot camp. So, is there anything here I missed? Let me check. So, I don't see TypeScript. Oh, wait, yeah, I do. Again, this is... These should not be in parentheses. Just say using TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, and React and Node. Right? React and Node. I don't need you to put these in parentheses. You could just say all of it. So you have this. This is good. I saw no... computer is not doing well. Hold on a second. Got to reload this page. So this is good. You have that. Node.js you have, right? You have SQL, great. You have APIs, good. I don't see RESTful APIs, I just see REST APIs. My problem here is I am missing this stuff, which is immediately under it. So like cloud, agile, CI/CD, and cross-functional. So again, this will pass some, but I prefer to see a little bit of cloud, agile, or CI/CD. Mainly because like they really want cloud. Cloud is pretty big. But otherwise, with what you've got, again, I don't like this is not a garbage resume. I think this will get some interviews, but changing those things will make it even better. And I know I'm being very nitpicky here, but I'd rather tell you the harsh truth so that you can easily get a job in the new year once, you know, the market opens up again in the second week of January. So next, resume. This is a mechanical engineer intern. So assuming their ratio is correct, it says 1 in 50. I don't know if that's accurate. Sometimes people don't give me the right information. Please be accurate with this. This is for me to help you. This should be okay. So what we need for at least a bachelor's level mechanical engineering intern is degree, basic knowledge of the industry. So SolidWorks, CAD documents, and then like depends on what you've done. So like engines in aerospace or wheels on trains, whatever it's called, and what you've worked on, Microsoft Office and Revit 3D, an ability to work with others, take direction and criticism, and yeah. So 20 seconds. Can I find it? And go. Okay. Degree, good. Conducted root cause, no. Reliability focused. Oil, okay, this is actually okay. Projects, design a 3D CAD robot on, okay, good. Mount design, Autodesk, good. Python, okay. I don't know if I can move this forward, but let's see what they wrote. Currently, I'm completing a co-op, and I have 2 semesters left to get my bachelor's. I've been applying to internships for summer 2026, and I have pretty good results, receiving an interview from an aerospace company in the first 50 applications. Okay, good. It really confused me, though, because I felt like my qualifications were not as strong as the position compared to other roles where I received rejections. Overall, I'm looking for a critical critique from your notes. So, couple of things that could have happened. One, you have very specific industry experience in, you said aerospace, I think it was, that I missed, which is entirely probable, right? There's a bunch of industries, and I cannot be everywhere. 2, you applied early. Right? The earlier you apply, the better your chances. If you apply later than everybody else, again, that's how ATSs work. It's first come, first serve. So you could have just been first to apply, and they looked at this and they said, yeah, this is pretty solid. I like it. This is close to what we're doing. Or, you know, again, a 1 in 150 to a 1 in 200 ratio. You still could get lucky and get it after the first 3. That doesn't mean that's your actual ratio. So I don't know if this is perfect for this individual industry, but here's the suggestions that I would make. So first off, I would simplify this. So I barely know what you do. Now, implemented plant-wide operation routes. I need this simpler, right? Again, this is not terrible. I just need it simpler. Then conducted root cause analysis. Again, I don't know if that's something they're looking for. Like, I need, like here, right? Designed a 3D model of a robot arm as sub-assemblies, ensuring proper alignment and clearance for moving parts. Fantastic. I actually really, really, really like that bullet point. I want you to write the rest of them like that. That is something I want you to do it. Like lead CAD modeling sessions for V-wing internal structure. Okay, good. This is at least related to the industry. Teaching members how to use CMES, NX, sheet metal, and cold wing, whatever. Again, this is industry specific. It's what they like. And you have the Siemens or whatever it's called. So there is right now a very, very big market for control engineers. So what I assume maybe happened is you apply this to a position that is looking for semi-control engineers, and you had the right stuff for that, like Siemens NX or C++, which again, you should have it in the bullet points, but, you know, and that right there is huge. So you wrote your co-op mid, right? I don't like this. There's actually bad. You wrote this kind of bad. You wrote these fantastically. So I need you to write this stuff like you wrote this stuff. Except, again, I want this right here. I want them in the bullet points. So That's what I think is the main problem with this. Your formatting also could use work. Again, you want it to look like this. But I'm going to guess that maybe that role was closer to a control engineers in aerospace, which you do have stuff. You do have aerospace stuff. You have airplane, and you have a little bit of the stuff that they want from a control engineer. Specifically the Siemens, which, again, well, that's not here. It is in my control engineer stuff. So that's why I believe that you got it that. Or again, that's not your true ratio, which is worse. But make those changes, and I think you're going to have a pretty good time. So again, I would like a little bit more about how you work together and worked with other people. But still, this is not garbage. Do it again, because this stuff saves this. Oh, you can't even see it. This stuff saves this garbage. So again, rewrite this like you did down here. Make it this simple. Make it this basic. Put this stuff in here, and you should be golden with just like 1 or 2 teamwork bullet points. And yeah, that's all I can do. But again, not terrible. You know how to write the bullet points. You just overcomplicated this stuff right here. And let's go to the next resume. So this is, and I'm so hesitant to say this, a software engineer C++. That is not the qualifications. That was from the last one. The problem with this was I was not able to find this. So there are control engineers. There are system engineers. There are other types of software engineers that use C++, but I could not find a specific one. And unfortunately for this type of thing, you need to be very specific. So I don't know if you're looking for like control engineers, or you're looking for, what are the other ones that I have? A Node.js kind of thing, or you're looking for an embedded software engineer, or a machine learning engineer specifically for, ML, or you're looking for a game developer or a mechatronics software. So this is my problem, is I can't actually get these qualifications because software engineer C++ is too broad. If you said software engineer C#.net, I got that. I know what that one is. So I'm going to read your note, and hopefully I can at least help you in some ways. But if you at least comment below the type of role, maybe I can find it for you and then post it in the comments at least, what the qualification list will be. So, you said, thank you for taking the time to review my resume. I'm a new graduate applying to software engineer roles in London. Again, I am a US-based recruiter. I am especially interested in working with C++. I don't know what those roles are, but I feel like I don't know how to explain the how, but please let me know if I should do or how I can do better. Also, I need sponsorship, but I've seen large companies accept some of my friends. Okay, so first off, they need to have the need for it. So make sure they're actually accepting your friends in a C++ environment, because it could be your friends are Java developers or Python. Again, I don't know. Maybe they are. So I will try to make sure you at least wrote this right, even if I can't get the exact keywords and qualifications, to at least give you some value out of this review. So, worked in a small team to develop high-performance image processing software using Python and OpenCV on NVIDIA GPU dies. Why? Right? You kind of told me how, although I would prefer it to say, worked in a image processing using Python and OpenCV on NVIDIA GPUs to do X and Y, right? I would like a little bit of the reason or result of this. But it's not terrible. It's not going to take you long to fix this. Design software architecture to run an AI object detection model using OOP design patterns. That's fine. I'd like a little bit more. Again, what is the reason that you did that? Set up a CI/CD pipeline for automatic software updates to deploy on Linux devices. So ideally, you want 3 keywords in each bullet point. Right now, you only have 2. And again, I don't know if you're looking for like controller positions or not, but you also don't mention C++. So this is a bit of a problem. You stated to me C++. I don't see C++ at all here. I see C. There is a difference between C# and C++ and probably C. And the person, if they do not see the exact thing, they may reject it. So, do I have C++ here? No. Weirdly enough, that's not picking up. Okay. So, developed a flight simulator from scratch. Okay, cool. With C++ using OOP principles. What is OOP? You need to state what OOP is, and then in parentheses put OOP. They may not know what OOP is. To implement 2 academic research papers. Again, I don't know why this is needed. Yeah, I don't know why this part is needed. Again, this may be something specific in the industry, but if it's not, I don't know why you did that. Visualize simulation results using Python. Okay, good. By graphing 2D, 3D environments, communicating algorithms to okay, so yeah, again, like I'm having a trouble wondering like reason you did it. Like you've got the what, you got the how. Hopefully the what is correct. Again, I can't tell you. But I don't really get the reason and results. This one I kind of do, but the rest of them I don't. And you really only have two keywords per bullet point when I want a minimum of 3 because space is at a premium. Formatting wise, it's perfect. You also, I like the language. That's good. I may need where you're located. Again, I don't know the UK, but in the US, it's important to state where you're located. And is there anything else here? Yeah, you need to add more keywords per sentence, and you need to explain the reason or result better. But overall, this is not bad. Assuming the keywords are correct, which I don't know because I don't know what you're going for. Because C++ software engineer is too broad. But formatting-wise and structural of bullet points, pretty solid. Just needs a little bit of work. Next, resume. This is a resume of a software developer for backend Python. So let's see if I can find what I need. They say they have a good ratio, but again, I don't know if that's always accurate. So what we need for Python backend is Python, SQL, Docker, Cloud, and one of its words. So AWS, GCP, and then like S2 or whatever the other ones for the others are. RESTful API specifically, Agile, Git, CI/CD, and then one of these brackets. So full stack or AI with NumPy ML or DevOps or Fast API, Flask, and Django, and a bonus for Kubernetes, ETL, MongoDB, and Java. So can I find that in 20 seconds? Let's find out and go. Okay. Okay, so this is from Mexico. I don't know how the job market differs there. That should be deleted. Built a web app illegal. Okay, good. You told me what you did. You didn't tell me how you did it, though. JG refresh token. Okay. Not bad, actually. Has some stuff. RAG. Okay, good. Built a system to put my backend Python Jeff. Okay, so I actually don't think this is terrible. Formatting is bad, right? This shouldn't be here. And you need to mention Python in the first sentence, and you should mention this stuff here. But you actually have the other stuff, right? You have Django RESTful framework. You have Docker plus AWS, PostgreSQL, S3. And you tell me how you used it and the reason and results. So again, your bullet points are actually, besides your first one, pretty solid. Assuming Mexico recruitment is the same as US recruitment, which I don't know. Let's see. So I'm aiming for a software. Oh, so yeah, this might very well be a 1 in 50, right? 1 in 50 is a C-. It could be better, but it could be a lot worse. But you do pass. And yeah, this might actually pass. They have mostly what I need. Again, I wish they would have put Python in the middle, but let's see. So I am aiming for a software engineer, software developer for a backend, all positions for entry at junior level. You can use your description requirements for the roles mentioned, but also leave this here if you want to use it for my request. IBM Mexico requirements. Okay, good. Understanding of software development, Java, C#, Python, SQL, working knowledge of application and DevOps tools, Git and Jenkins, familiar with APIs. Yeah, that's basically the same as what I would say still. Operating systems, preferred tech, C++. Yeah, again, that's mostly what I would say. This is why, I guess it's basically the same. So that's pretty good to know that a Python developer is like 90% the same as a Python developer in the US compared to Mexico. So yeah, this is not terrible, right? Like I'm not ripping and tearing. Is that your formatting is bad? It needs to be fixed. And you need to not put this here and put Python in here. But how you wrote the rest of these bullets is pretty solid, and you have most everything I need. Is there anything I'm really missing? I don't think so. Again, you just need to put this stuff in here in the first sentence, clean up your formatting, and I think you're going to be fine. This is solid. I like it. This is a 1 in 50, definitely. I can see this. So yeah, again, pretty solid. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. If you ever need any more help, you can always join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST at twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. The link is below. And, share this with your friends and family that need help. I want to make sure that everybody is on the path to proper employment. And I will see you all in the next video.